Hi, it's Stephen here from Sound of an Ocean Wave, and this is day 8 of the January daily draws. So let's see what message we get today. And I'll be taking the first card from the Linestrider Tarot, followed by an Oracle card from the Enchanted Map Oracle. So let's choose our first card and get the reading underway. Okay, here we go. So we will go there. We have the Queen of Swords. So, Queen of Swords is very to the point, says what she means and means what she says. She doesn't apologize for the way she thinks. She stands by her own convictions. She is smart and she's concise in her dealings and in her communication. She gets straight to the point. No flowery words, no dressing it up. She just says it as it is. Very straightforward. Sometimes that can come across as being a little bit blunt or a little bit cold. And it's not necessarily, it can be a quality of someone that is represented by the Queen of Swords. But it may be just other people's perception, because it's not that she's not necessarily unfeeling or cold. It's just that in the issue at hand, she's not getting too emotionally involved. She's not wearing a heart on her sleeve. She's dealing with the facts. She's dealing with the issues, and she's stating facts. She's stating truths, and no matter what her emotions may be, they don't come into it. Or they're secondary to the truth of the matter. So it may appear as though her feelings are not there, and what she comes across as cold, but she's not. She's just a matter of fact. It's not that she's not sensitive to feelings, but she feels that the best way to express them is through dealing with factual issues, dealing with practicality, dealing with ideas, and coming up with solutions to things, developing. She can help someone by giving advice, by giving helpful information, rather than the touchy-feely sort of, or the more sensitive, heart, sort of warm, comforting sort of approach that, say, the Queen of Cups might have. Hers just comes from a different angle. Hers is a different style. It doesn't mean that she's any less caring. It's just that it's not necessarily on show. So, it may be that we'll have someone that we're dealing with like this, and we have to understand that sometimes people like this will talk to us very matter-of-factly, and it may bristle us a bit because we want them to sugarcoat something or something like that, and it comes across very cutting. Of course, she's the Queen of Swords. She cuts down to the issue. She cuts away the things that don't matter, and she gets to the truth with it. The upright sword that she's got here. So she's very straight to the point, and she is good at communication, but she may be very too straightforward, and that may come across, as I say, as bluntness. And we may bristle against that, but we have to, she's not going to sugarcoat it for us. That's not her style. She's not going to put some warm emotion behind it to soften the blow. No, she feels that to help us, she needs to be more surgical with the facts and the truth. to open our minds to the reality of the situation, to make us see the situation and ourselves perhaps as we need to. So maybe we need to be open to that, that maybe instead of being defensive against that, is there some, is there a point to this? Is there something that somebody's saying to us that's cutting through some of the dross that we, and the dressing up of things, the excuses that we make for ourselves about not doing things or doing certain things? Is there something we can learn from this approach when someone deals with us in this way? Because people can resist criticism, but if it's constructive criticism, and I feel that when the Queen of Swords is being the Queen of Swords in a positive way, the criticism will be constructive. That's why, as I say, it's the expression of care for the person is to give constructive criticism that will help make them better, because that's the desire. So we need to recognize that and value people that will tell us straight, that won't tell us all the time what we need to hear. And maybe also there are times when we need to have that approach, one with ourselves and maybe with other people too. Maybe we're afraid of the way we believe and we hide our true feelings or our true beliefs on something, when we should stand by those convictions and express them, our ideas, and voice our ideas and opinions because they're valid for us. Yes, always be open to debate and being convinced differently if the facts bear that out, or, the weight of argument for changing the way we feel about something is strong and we've recognized, oh, I didn't think of it that way and now I think differently about it. That's okay. But otherwise, having the courage of your convictions is just as valid. And you need to value yourself. She values herself. She makes no excuses for who she is. And maybe we need a little bit of that in ourselves too. To not be always apologetic for who we are. But to stand, not arrogantly, but confidently in the truth of our authentic self, which is what the Queen of Swords definitely does. Okay, let's see which oracle card we get to go with that. Okay, here we go. Peaks of joy. Literally being lifted above the clouds. Peaks of joy. And sometimes that true joy and happiness comes from being true. True to ourselves, true to our convictions, being honest in our communication, and standing by that, and letting our voice be counted and valued. The joy that comes from that and being confident in ourselves to do that is profound. And the joy of rising above some of the things that maybe we've struggled with because we listen to some hard-hitting advice and counsel that we may at first sort of resist, or it smarts a bit. Maybe we feel the sting of it, but it stings us because we know, and deep down we know it stings us because it's true. And maybe we need to admit certain things about ourselves and our situation. And the way to gain some joyful resolution to that is to take that advice on board and do something with it. So in all these scenarios, the true joy to be is to be true to ourselves and and who we are, and that's where the true joy comes in. So let's be more true to ourselves. Let's have the convictions and confidence to be ourselves and to express ourselves like the Queen of Swords, and let's have those peaks of joy. Okay, let's that's today's message. I'll be back tomorrow with day 9. Until then, thank you for listening. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again very soon. Okay, bye-bye.